Good evening, YouTube. How are we doing? What a weekend. What a mess. What a disaster. The list could go on and on and on and on about how I feel about this. Now, everybody's giving Donald Trump a hard time for not coming out right away against these white supremacists. Well, the bottom line is there was two sides to this, two violent sides. One side, clearly a despicable, evil, race-hating side, and the other side was Antifa, whatever you want to call it, anti-fascist movement, that was also there solely to start problems. Now, I'm not making excuses for the white supremacists. I don't have any connections or affiliations. I don't like anybody who hates somebody purely for the color of their skin, just because they happen to be black or Mexican or, you know, something other than Eastern European. But I also do not like the Antifa movement either, because they shut down free speech. They're the ones that shut down free speech at Berkeley. They're the ones that shut down free speech in New York when conservative speakers come to campus to speak. They're the ones that riot and set things on fire. So I don't believe that either one of these groups is innocent of this situation. And I believe that when Trump got up there on Saturday and denounced it, it's because he knew that neither one of these groups, one of which has been after him and beating on him and trashing on him for no real reason, and another group that he's made very clear multiple times that he's denounced and disassociated himself with. You can't control who votes for you. You can only try to get people who don't vote, wouldn't vote for you, to vote for you. You can only persuade more people to vote for you. And so to hold it against Trump that because these people voted for him that he emboldens them is total horse. Under Trump, as it is right now, unemployment in the minority communities has dropped drastically. Unemployment in all communities have dropped drastically. The policies that he's putting in place are benefiting all Americans, no matter what color your skin is. You can disagree with him on things. There's nothing wrong with civil disagreements. But the fact of the matter is he was voted president. And he was legitimately voted president. There was no fraud, there was no scheming, there was no any of that. Did a Russian propaganda media source maybe try and persuade people one way or another? Possibly. Were there tallies actually changed by Russia? Nope. So, and for us to sit on our high horse when we were sending people down to Israel to try and defeat Benjamin Netanyahu, and then sit back and say, well, you know, Russia interfered with our elections. Well, we've interfered in other countries' elections. It's the way the game is played, and to sit on our high horse, especially these left-leaning Democrats, the only reason they're sitting there is because they don't like the outcome of the election. They think that they're smarter than you are. They think that their candidate should have won because they're smarter and they can live your life better than you can. So this weekend, I think there's two types of people. People that have a what do you want to call it? That have a tendency towards violence, and people who have a tendency towards peace and civility. And those types of people can live on both sides of the aisle. And both types of people can live on both sides of the aisle. I think Antifa and the white supremacists, white nationalists, neo-Nazis, whatever, have more in common than they have differences. They just have different things to place blame on their choices for violence. So their decisions to commit violence are based on different things, but they're still committing violence. And until we as a society on both sides condemn in strong terms the end of this violence, whether it be Antifa and stopping speech, free speech, or whether it be neo-Nazis or Nazis or whatever you want to call them, whatever, you know, cuddly bubbly name that they come up with next, white nationalists. Until we are willing to condemn violence, period, and be willing to sit down at the table and have true dialogue and true expression of ideas, I think we're going to see more of this. So those are kind of my thoughts on this weekend. Please like, subscribe, leave your comments. Let me know what you thought. And am I wrong? Am I right? What's your take on this weekend? So, and yes, Trump came out today after all of the evidence was in. The driver of the car was identified and clarified and denounced white supremacy specifically. But like I said, I think on Saturday, he did not want to go against one side, as it would be portraying that he's taking the side of another. And that wouldn't be correct either, because violence is violence. So anyway, guys, those are my thoughts. Like I said, like, subscribe, and you know, maybe share, and leave me some comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Have a great evening, and we'll see you in the next video.